Buenos días. Estamos transmitiendo a través de Facebook Live. Les recordamos que pueden permanecer en contacto con nosotros y hacernos llegar sus dudas e inquietudes a través del Facebook de la International Week UNAM. El día de hoy, el tema de nuestra charla es Mobility at the University of Sussex. Para ello, contamos con la presencia de Rohan McCarthy-Gill, jefe de movilidad global de la Universidad de Sussex en Reino Unido. Y Rohan, we are more than glad to host you at our International Week 2022. I'm going to give a very brief introduction of you. Rohan actualmente es jefe de movilidad global de la Universidad de Sussex en Reino Unido. Cuenta con 22 años de experiencia en el área de internacionalización de la educación superior británica y australiana, con especial énfasis en movilidad global de los estudiantes, reclutamiento y marketing, servicios estudiantiles y asesoramiento para los estudiantes. Asimismo, Rohan es el actual presidente de la Asociación de Intercambio Transnacional de Universidades Británicas, BOTEX, por sus siglas en inglés, encargada de los programas de estudiantes de los programas estudiantiles de los estudiantes extranjeros y de las universidades británicas. So, Rohan, we yield this time for your presentation.
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you for that introduction. I will just shortly share my presentation, and hopefully everyone can see that okay. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see that okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. And I'm really delighted to virtually meet you all and really excited to be part of UNAM's International Week and to give an opportunity to tell you a little bit about what our fantastic University of Sussex offer can be for you. So this webinar aims to provide some general information about the university, but also about Brighton and the UK. And there will be an opportunity, if anyone has any questions, to be able to field those. So my name, as Roberto mentioned, is Rohan McCarthy-Gill, and I lead the University of, you can see the comments. I apologize for that. What I might do is I might just, pardon me, I'll stop sharing. And I will, if I can just bear with me. Sorry for these technical problems. Not sure why that happened, but I will just see about whether or not I can try again. So, I'm beginning. Are you still seeing my comments?
Oh, no, we are only seeing the PPT.
Only seeing the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Yes, as I said, my name is Rohan McCarthy-Gill, and I lead the University of Sussex Global Student Mobility Program, and that's including the program where we welcome several hundred incoming students to our campus each year from over 30 different countries across the world, including Mexico. I'd like to share a short video with you, which I really like because it sort of shows some of the beautiful surrounds of our campus and our city. And I hope that you'll sort of get a real feel for the space that you have to explore as a student. So I'm going to just try and share this now. It may not play with sound, in which case I apologize. However, it does have subtitles so that you should be able to read it. Oh dear, it's a day for technical problems for me. For some reason, it's not wanting to play, but let me try again. No, I am sorry. I might skip over the video, and perhaps it might be something that I can play at the end. The University of Sussex, we're a leading higher education institution of both education and research in the south of England. Our university was actually one of the first, what were called the new wave universities in the UK, founded in the very early 1960s under a royal charter. We're quite unique in that we are the only UK university that actually has a campus that's set entirely within a national park. The national park is called the South Downs, and it's an area that sort of really is quite sort of, it's an area of designated outstanding natural beauty. And we at Sussex have quite a history of protecting and enhancing our green spaces. You know, that's our trees and our wildlands. And we have a number of sort of, you know, wildlife creatures that actually make Sussex, the campus, their home. And you can see in the picture there how beautiful and green the campus is and how it's really absorbed into the natural environment around it. And it's located just outside the city of Brighton on the southeast coast of England. So Brighton is colloquially known as London by the sea. And you can see sort of why that is. It's got sort of easy access to the capital city without actually sort of having the London, cost of living for a start. We are just also 9 minutes away from Brighton, the city of Brighton and Hove, and an hour from London, and just 30 minutes away from our nearest international airport, that is Gatwick Airport, which means that we have a lot of access to other parts of Europe. We really are a gateway to Europe, as well as being a hotspot in the UK itself. So as I mentioned, we opened back in 1961, just a handful of students at that time, but a real strong interdisciplinary focus. And the goal was to make higher education accessible to more of the British population. Today, we've actually grown to be a community of over about 18,000 students and nearly 4,000 professional and academic staff from over 100 different countries. We're really proud to have over 89% of our research activity has been categorised as world leading or internationally excellent in terms of its originality, significance, and the academic rigour. And we've got a real focus on international development, sustainability, and innovation. You'll see that we've been ranked for a number of years to have the world's #1 program in development studies, which is a real testimonial to the strength and the rigour of our program. We offer for visiting and exchange students coming to us for a semester or a year. We have over 1,000 modules. We call them modules. You may know them as courses, subjects, units, but that's essentially subjects of study, over 1,000 different modules. And we've really developed a reputation for innovation, inspiration, and we attract leading thinkers and researchers. Over 3 Nobel Prize winners are on our staff. We have 12 fellows of the British Academy, and many more highly regarded lecturers and researchers are on our staff, and that makes us very highly regarded in the UK context. You can see there that slide, a number of different sort of figures and rankings, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, as we say. There's lots more to Sussex than just those rankings, but they're ones we're particularly proud of. So Brighton, the city, I mean, it's hard to know where to start to describe it, whether it's the shops selling, vinyl records, the vintage boutiques, our vegan restaurants, independent coffee shops. Everything like this sort of makes Brighton, we're kind of called in a fun way, the hipster capital of the world. And certainly we've been ranked as one of the hippest and trendiest city in the UK. But we're considered more hipster than Miami or Seattle even. So you can sort of get a bit of a sense for the flavour. That picture on the right there is the North Lane, and it's the real place to go for that Brighton feeling. You know, lots of sort of, you know, over 400 different independent shops and cafes and bars and restaurants. There's an enormous amount to look at, and, you know, really something that kind of to suit everyone. And as well as being the hippest city, we've been voted as the happiest city in England for students as well. And you'll see on the left there, that's our very iconic, famous Brighton Palace Pier, which is probably, as you see, is also my Zoom background. It's probably the most iconic building that Brighton has. So a bit more about Brighton. We're famous for our sunshine, which I can tell you England is not famous for its sunshine. However, Brighton is one of the absolute sunniest spots in the city. Very inclusive environment, quite dynamic and cosmopolitan, and it's a place where people's views are accepted and fostered, and people can express themselves really freely. It's one of the top 10 beach destinations in the world, you know, and during the day you can do anything from having a lovely relaxing walk along the promenade, which is the big long walkway at the front of the beachfront. You can practice water sports such as kayaking, paddleboarding. Our fish and chips, which is an iconic English meal, is even more iconic in Brighton. But you do have to watch out for the seagulls, which are those big white birds, as they are known for stealing people's fish and chips. In the evening, you can do things like enjoying the pubs, the theatres, you know, go to independent cinemas, and Brighton nightlife is really legendary. And there's, you know, a huge number of bars and clubs that you can enjoy. And really, there's almost something to enjoy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in Brighton. So celebrations are a massive part of Brightonian culture. And really, I could probably have a whole presentation just talking about these, but I'll give a few of the sort of personal favourites. The big Pride celebration, it's arguably the biggest day in Brighton's calendar each year. The city's long been known for its progressive views, so it's no surprise that we are home to the UK's largest LGBTQ plus celebration community. It is quite frankly, you know, it's a really magical weekend. It starts with a massive parade through the whole city, followed by music performances and street parties. There's also the burning of the clocks, and that celebrates the winter solstice. Again, it's a parade through the streets of Brighton. Participants make paper lanterns, and it culminates with a massive bonfire and firework display on the beach. And Brighton is the only place that does an event like that. There's also the Brighton Festival. This takes place for the whole of May and provides a month of entertainment. So that's music, theatre, comedy, talks, arts, parades, classes, readings, everything, anything you can really think of. And it starts with a children's parade, and that's where children from the local schools dress up in the theme of the year. One year, for example, it was Egyptian, so everyone dressed up as sort of ancient Egyptians. And then they march through the streets of Brighton, and there's usually some sort of music, some form of samba that accompanies that. The Brighton, the Brighton Fringe Festival, that's an open access arts festival, and that's held every year in Brighton. And it's the largest arts festival in England, and actually one of the largest fringe festivals in the world. And that's mainly an opportunity to watch things like stand-up comedy performances in the city. So moving on, you may not know, but we are a hub of Premier League football. We have our own team called the Brighton and Hove Albion. They're called the Seagulls, and I mentioned the Seagulls before as the ones that steal the fish and chips from you on the beach. Football is a big thing in Brighton. We're very proud of our football team. They're in the Premier League. And of course, obviously Mexico being a country that is also very concerned about football. Yes, it's a nice place to be. When you come to Brighton, you get to experience the football mania that is part of the Brighton and Hove Albion. And we are right next to a Premier League football club stadium. So you can see the stadium there. It's very big, and you can see all the blue and white being the Brighton and Hove Albion colours. So just sort of recapping, I suppose, you know, I mentioned that the South Downs is one of the UK's 15 national parks, and we're the only university surrounded by a national park. It's also the most visited national park in the UK, and it's famous for some particularly unique landscapes, including our chalk cliffs. We have ancient fortifications and castles within the national park as well. That's my favourite picture of the South Downs National Park. You can see the chalk cliffs there going into the sea. That's quite iconic to our area of England. Now, we are quite, our campus being surrounded by the National Park, we're also very concerned about sustainability, and we've been ranked highly in world rankings around sustainability, most recently ranked 13th in the world, 13th in the world in the green metric rankings, but also 3rd in the world in the Times Higher Education World Impact Rankings for partnering for the goals. That's how I think we use our partnerships to build on our sustainability objectives. So just some quick sort of things about the campus there. You know, you only have to step off the campus and you're surrounded by the South Downs. We're only 9 minutes though from buzzing Brighton, so you can actually get both quite unique experiences, a real city eclectic experience of Brighton, and then within half an hour you can be up there in the hills enjoying the lovely environment of the national park. So the campus itself, we have, you know, a whole range of facilities that you can see, everything from shops and supermarkets to, you know, the health centre where you can access health services. Our market, which opens, you know, one day every week on a Wednesday, and that's a real opportunity to try, you know, unique food and meet with other students, and it's a real lovely kind of atmosphere down there on a Wednesday. We also have religious services and a range of sort of sports facilities as well. We actually have 2 sports centres on campus, not just one. Housing wise, we have also a range of housing both in that sort of off-campus and on-campus style. And it's managed by our University Housing Office, and students can really pick from, you know, a huge range of options of housing, including single accommodation. If all rooms are single, so no one shares a bedroom. However, some accommodation will have ensuite or shared bathroom facilities and communal kitchens, and a range of styles to suit our students' own preferences and their budgets. Not all students wish to live on campus, so our housing office also facilitates students to access accommodation options off campus as well. So in the city of Brighton and Hove. So some students prefer to be down there where, you know, there's in the thick of the city, but other students would prefer to be on campus. So we try and meet all students' preferences where possible. Our library, it's a really iconic building. You'll notice a lot of our architecture is in the 1960s brutalist style. So it's sort of, it's always sort of very interesting from a heritage perspective. And I think our library is one of those. It's open 7 days a week. They are, you know, set up to do one-to-one and group training sessions tailored to support specific needs of students. Students can book individual study spaces. So it's quite, you know, whilst it's quite a traditional brutalist look on the outside, on the inside, it's quite modern and has a very sort of, you know, updated kind of way of offering services to students. So learning at Sussex may be a bit different to what you're used to at home in Mexico. We follow a sort of for undergraduate teaching, a sort of lecture and seminar/tutorial style. What this means is that generally students will spend probably about 2 hours a week in lectures, and that's more sort of, you know, where there's sort of big group-based content. And then they will have seminars or tutorials, which are smaller groups where students actually sort of break things down in a more customized smaller group capacity. There are also, of course, in some disciplines, practical sessions, and they're run through laboratories and workshops. We do, since the pandemic, we've also been using the benefits of technology so that we have dual mode teaching. And that means that some students, may still wish to come to the lectures in person. However, they are also live streamed as well for students that want a bit more of that flexibility. And also, if students come to us just for the autumn semester, we have a flexible assessment mode, which means that because our examinations generally run in late January, but lots of students will need to return to their home countries before Christmas, we offer a flexible assessment mode where students do not need to be in attendance on campus for in-person examinations. The lecturers will customize something for the students to enable them to return home before the Christmas period. So that's just for the autumn semester in order to make the dates work a bit better for our visiting and exchange students. So onto our academia, you can enrol onto subjects from multiple disciplines. So one of the great things about coming to Sussex is just because you might be a student studying psychology does not mean that you could not take subjects in art history or another area of the social sciences or the STEM fields. So we encourage students to cross boundaries, cross academic boundaries where their curriculum at home allows them to do that while on exchange. And we have over 1,000 different modules that students can pick from, as I think I mentioned earlier. And then, of course, students, have access to the library, as I mentioned, 24 hours a day. There's also a range of other access, such as some subjects will have field trips, and that will involve going out into the local environment to study things in a more practical way. And you'll see some of the rankings there again, around our outstanding teaching. And I really do feel like the rankings speak for themselves. Okay. So, all right. Just quickly, another summary there. We've got those 3 Nobel Prize winners, but also 15 Fellows of the Royal Society, 1 Crafoord Prize winner, and 24 Fellows of the Academic of Social Sciences. Those are those subject areas I mentioned. So they're the broad headings, and then you'll have many, many individual subjects underneath each one of those. So that's the range of disciplines that we offer. Just a quick shot of Welcome Week. That's also where the market is held every Wednesday, but you can see Welcome Week is massive. It's held generally once a year, so in the autumn, the beginning of the autumn semester. And students can get involved in a huge range of events. There's a really lively calendar of talks and presentations, and it's a great opportunity to get introduced to fellow students. We also have a One World Week, which celebrates the diversity of our campus community. We have over 140 nationalities studying at Sussex, so you will meet people from all over the world. And we also have a language cafe where you can join and also enjoy a variety of international food available in the campus restaurants and shops. So it's a really exciting, those 2 Welcome Week and One World Week are very exciting parts of our calendar. We have over 230 different clubs and societies which you can join. There's really something for everyone. You can see everything from video gaming to cheerleading to a concert band. It's very, very eclectic. Also our sports clubs, and while we don't have any specific sports degrees at Sussex, there are a huge range of sports societies, and 2 sports centres, as I mentioned, so a number of fitness and health classes that are on offer, and they're priced at student-friendly prices. So I think I'm coming to the end of my time, so I'll just be quick now. You can get a lot of student support at Sussex, whether you're here for a semester or a year, and that's academic skills, accommodation, assessment, wellbeing support. We also have a really great buddy scheme available as well. Entry requirements very quickly. I won't cover these in any detail because they are what you see on the screen, but we do have very achievable entry requirements as part of our exchange program. Some quick quotes from alumni, and we're very happy with the experience that our alumni has, and you can read those there. And that's it. So thank you very much. I apologize, I've probably run slightly over time. But I hope that was a useful introduction to Sussex, and that you got a bit of a flavour for what studying in the UK is like. And yes, we really look forward to seeing some of you in due course on our campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rohan, for your presentation. So we have a little minute, so for maybe 1 or 2 questions. Let me share with you some of one. Do I need a level to apply, or a Mexican bachelor? It's okay.
To come for our exchange program, you would only need to have had 1 completed year of a Mexican degree. If you're looking at coming for a postgraduate, I would need to double check that, but I believe a Mexican degree would be sufficient, and then for eligibility into our master degree. But I can certainly follow up on that with some more specific detail.
Okay, great. The next one is, what are the main scholarships we can apply to study at the University of Sussex?
So again, we don't have any scholarships for our visiting and exchange program, because generally speaking, we would be accepting students under a fee waiver basis, because we'd be looking to have a partnership in place. For postgraduate, again, I would need to double check, but certainly on our website, there is a section on scholarships, and students would be able to look at that and see what scholarships, partial scholarships there may be available. Okay. I apologize, I don't have that information.
No, don't worry. So I'm afraid that we don't have enough time. So Rohan, thank you so much for your great presentation. And I hope this information could be very helpful for our community. Estamos ya cerrando nuestra sesión, pero agradecemos mucho por conectarse con nosotros. Recuerden que tenemos una cita con nuestro siguiente evento titulado Pasa un año o un semestre en el extranjero en la Universidad de Bristol. Que tengan buen día.